Hey y'all, Melissa here. Winter didn't forget us in Southeast Ohio. It's January 5th, 2025, recording this. 25 degrees outside, big snowstorm coming in. We brought several of the water dispensers in. They had frozen, so we got them inside, letting them thaw. Recently stocked up on a variety of treats for the hens. We're actually going to go out and give them some mealworms. Want to take you along. Got the mealworm treats for the hens. This is what we're actually going to give them today while you're with us, so we'll take those up in a moment. We've got some ice melter that we're putting down on the concrete approach into the carport garage, and we already have some ice down, trying to get that kind of melted down. A little bit of ice on the gravel driveway too, but supposed to be, what's supposed to come in, Jared? 8 to 12 inches?
Yeah, that's what you're saying.
It's supposed to be 8 to 12 inches of snow come in. So,
a bit of freezing rain.
And freezing rain. So we kind of want to try to at least down here where we park and turn around, because we've tracked it down. So now the snow that was there is packed and frozen.
Yeah, it's not bad. Just a little more here. Really shouldn't put salt on a stone driveway because it'll soften it. But here we've got, this used to be, I don't know if the camera will show, but this used to be flat, and there's such a raise, there's a lot of stone on here.
So like, as in used to be, like 15 years ago when we put it in, it had a different topography because how you graded it, and over time, as we've added to the driveway gravel material, stone material.
25 years ago.
Okay, well, yeah, true. Going back 25 years. So, you know, this has picked up a little bit of a crown over years, over time, as you know, kind of crush your stone using it, and then you add more stone, that kind of builds up a crown there, right?
Yeah, well,
so that's what you're saying.
Just keeps building up. This keeps building up. So this is really raised up, and there's a lot of stone on here. So I'm not putting the salt on real heavy. I just want to try to get some of the stone showing through. That way it gives you some traction.
We want to get some melt here, especially before we get snow on it.
and that's, which the rest of the driveway has melted. There is stone showing, so it's not bad. It's just right here where we turn around. And we want to, I just, you know, want to, so it probably won't keep everything melted, but try to help what we can.
What's temperature supposed to be tonight?
I'm not sure.
I don't know
what it is.
Teens, probably.
I think it is supposed to get down in the teens again.
In the teens. It's about 25 right now, and honestly, it feels okay.
It doesn't feel bad out here now.
I mean, if you've got a coat on, some layers, cover your head if you want to, and gloves, feels okay. So I'm gonna take mealworms up and treat the hens.
Oh, they'll really like that.
They will love that. That's what we need to get into, right? Instead of a chicken farm, we should be a mealworm farm. That's how we're gonna make our million.
Yeah, they sell for big money.
Well, they do. So I'll tell the people what we paid for that. But yeah, thanks, Jared. So other preparations for the deep freeze, big snow. We got the pile of firewood going. We're like pro level wood splitters around here. I think we actually had a homeschool, and our mascot was the Creekside Wood Splitters, because that was like the winter sport, always splitting wood. But they made an extra big stack of wood for this deep freeze that's coming. Little rural life tip, sometimes they even put a little bit of coal in we have a wood burner furnace. I'll try to get a little shot of that. So outdoor wood burner furnace back there in the background. And then I see the cord hanging down on this truck, that it was plugged into an extension cord, and we've got the generator going. So that was another thing, making sure the generator's running. We stocked up on just a reasonable, appropriate amount of gasoline to have to power things as needed. The vehicles, we filled those tanks up, and we were just talking about planning out parking, because we do have one truck that is 2-wheel drive, so it's probably actually going to go there where that gray truck is. So it's got some dry pavement to pull out on. So anyway, but you know, when you live country life and you've got winter conditions, you got to kind of think ahead, especially with livestock and running vehicles or running equipment and getting yourself back and forth to work. So we'll go up and see the chickens now and take a mealworm. Okay, so let's do the lowdown on the mealworm. chicken snack that we're going to give the hens as a treat. So this is Treat by Flockfest Mealworm. No additives, no preservatives. It's just mealworms. It does say protein rich snack for poultry. Totally agree with that, because let's look at the analysis. I think they have it on the side. Yeah, let's just move over here. So dried mealworms, guaranteed analysis. Crude protein 50%, crude fat 20%, crude fiber 10%, maximum moisture dried to 12% there. So okay, so this is a 5-pound bag, dried mealworms for growing adult poultry. So growing or adult poultry is what I take from that. There are a little bit of instructions back here. Directions: use mealworms sparingly as a snack or reward. Do not use as a substitute for regular diet. That's important. Those are actually two very important tidbits of instruction, really, because anytime you get anything like this that's like a snack, a treat, that's really not a complete diet. It's really not a regular ration for your chickens, for any kind of livestock, for any kind of pets. So make sure that they are getting a complete balanced diet, some kind of complete feed ration for them, and then you can supplement with these things. And because they're getting what they need from their regular diet, they don't need a bunch of snacks, a bunch of treats, but it's something that's enrichment for them, something enjoyable for them. And if we can use it as like a protein boost or some kind of nutritional boost, that's great. So in this case, we're wanting to do this now because we are going, as you saw around here, we're in winter conditions. We could be going into kind of a deep freeze, a winter storm, a big snow. We want to give the hens a protein boost. We want to try to help keep everybody who's actively laying in egg production. So a protein boost is a good help with that. We do have some that are molting. A protein boost is a great help with that, because in molt, what chickens are doing is dropping feathers, growing in new ones. Feathers are about 91% protein. So if we can give them a protein boost, that's great. So that was the one, don't use it as your regular diet. The one great tip. The other tip, use mealworms sparingly. Totally agree. For one thing, they're going to love it. So, that's all they're going to want. If they get this like every day, they could actually go off of their regular feed, hoping that they'll see their handler bringing them mealworms. So this is not something we're going to do every day. Now, mealworms sparingly is kind of vague as far as it's not telling us a quantity per bird to use. In general, what I've observed on chicken treats is they generally tell you like 1 to 2 tablespoons of this treat per chicken per day. So we would tend to give less rather than more. I've got a pen of about 30 hens in here. So what I did was I'm just gonna, fill this tub, and that's what I'm gonna take them. Okay, so we're gonna take that into them. So a couple of drawbacks on this particular treat. Made in China, China product. We'd rather have one USA sourced. So in that regard, maybe it is something that here we want to look into. Is there a way we can kind of raise our own mealworms? Maybe we could do that right here. Another drawback, it is in plastic packaging. In general, we want to try to avoid plastic packaging if we can. But some good things, it did have the easy tear top. It does have a resealable closure that's kind of like, a Ziploc feature. So we're going to be able to seal it back up. And also in this case, price was okay. So I want to tell you about price before we take it in to feed the girls with it. So this 5-pound bag retail suggestion is $40. We ended up finding it on sale. We got it online through Chewy. We bought it, purchased it, paid for it. We weren't given it. We're not getting anything for showing it to you. Just want to show you what we're giving our hens as a treat, something that they'll enjoy. So the regular retail for the 5-pound bag of these Flockfest mealworms on Chewy was $40. We got it on sale for right at $30 plus tax. So so it would be something that we would look for on sale and get it when we can find it on sale. She's braving the cold. It is in the 20s out here, but here is one of our Easter eggers. She's outside anyway, but she's nice and dry, so that's great. And probably she'll head in and see what the commotion is about when we put the treats down. Thanks for sticking with me. We're heading into the hen house now. Okay, our production red house. multiple hens in here, mostly production reds, some other breeds. There happens to be a white leghorn. There's one of our Easter eggers. We're gonna remind her to get down. That's not encouraged, getting on the feeder and perching. There's an Isa Brown. So let's put some of these treats down over here. So we typically don't give our hens just mealworms. They've had some treat mixes that had mealworms in them. So going to go ahead and put some of this down for them. Oh yeah, try to put some multiple piles so that we spread them out so they're not all in one place trying to fight over the same real estate. So another thing we definitely want to do while we're in here is check for eggs. But giving them a little treat like this is actually quite handy because that draws all of them out of the nest boxes for me and off the nesting areas. So it's actually much easier for me to gather eggs then. So we do have an egg right here. Gonna get some shadow, but I want to go ahead and pick this egg up. So we do have, as I mentioned, 25-degree temperatures. Okay, so let's kind of get some of the, that one got some chicken manure on it. 25 degrees or so, or a little less. Aw, they like it. Is the temperature right now. So we are concerned about eggs potentially freezing, but we normally check eggs about 4 to 6 times a day anyway. So we're checking them at least that frequently now. We do have one down in the corner, and I think I saw, there's just 3 there. So, okay, I'm gonna go ahead and get those. And we'll gather those up. So we can check eggs, I guess, a little more frequently if we want to. We haven't had any trouble with eggs freezing so far. We did take the dispenser out and just put a bucket. We already had the heat lamp in here. Howdy, Jared. I'm gonna pause the record just a second. All right. Jared's headed back to the family farm that's a couple miles away from home here. He actually wanted to get a tarp to put over that wood pile we showed you. So we have tarps here, but he wanted a bigger one to put over that wood pile. So he's gonna go do that. So we're actually gonna, one of the things I'll do is refresh the water. I'll probably just go ahead and fill that to the top because we don't really want them having to reach way down. We don't want to chance anybody getting their combs wet in there. But they really, yeah, they really liking the mealworms. We do have a gal, so sitting back in this corner. So she's nesting. So she's either sitting on an egg or preparing to lay an egg. What would be the chances we'd get to see her actually lay the egg? Chances are she won't do that while I'm recording. But I do feel fortunate we haven't had, so that's going to draw her out too. She can come see if she can find any mealworms or any treats. But I do feel fortunate we haven't had eggs freezing yet because we've had temperatures in the 20s and a little bit in the teens. But we are looking at probably like 2 weeks of temperatures in the fluctuating between teens and 20s and hopefully up into the 30s. That'll feel warm. So anyway, we just want to keep them fed, water free flowing, keep eggs checked, and that's one thing we'll do is give them, we do have some other treats too, but we will give them a little bit bigger feed ration than we normally do, up to double. Probably not quite double every day, but about every other day, probably end up be about double feed ration to give them extra energy. And then we'll be willing to give them some of these chicken treats. So before we wrap up the video, we'll step into the other hen house and we'll share some mealworms with them as well. Okay, so got the tub for the other group. Wanted to give you another good look at just what they look like, you know. So they're dehydrated, dried mealworms. All right, so same in here. The gals are looking good. We've got feed in the feeders. Got water there. We keep a red bulb in here all the time. When it's warm weather, we can swap the red bulb out for 110 watt, just red bulb. But when it's cold, we can, like freezing cold, we can swap in a heat lamp. And there's quite a lot of heat transfer there because that bulb, I think, is like that 250 watt heat bulb. They'll be like 600 degrees Fahrenheit at the bulb. And so then, you get some heat loss as it is just disseminated out into the air. Here's Phoebe. Hi, Phoebe. Hey, I wanted to shout out too. I'll do this again in another video, like earlier in the video, but wanted to shout out to one of our viewers, Jeff B. Hey, Jeff. You are, I know, one of our biggest fans, a loyal supporter, top commenter. I just got to tell you, thank you, man. Thank you. I love reading your feedback. Always love to hear from you. I know you take care of livestock in addition to your day job and raise chickens, some meat chickens, have experience with meat rabbits, I believe. So I just always really love reading your feedback and learning from you. So we're going to put, hi, Phoebe. Phoebe want a snack. So we're going to put, okay, let's get right to it. But Jeff, thanks. Want to shout out to you and tell you thanks very much for supporting our channel. We're real grateful. And always love that frequently your feedback on the comment threads is very encouraging and includes scripture. And I really appreciate that. So there we go. So we'll just take a look at the gals here. Definitely a thumbs up from the gals on the mealworms, yeah? Yeah. So, if y'all are fighting cold weather, I mean, we just got to do our best to keep our basics met with our stewardship of our livestock if you're raising them. Again, we took the water dispensers out of here, and we're just, at this point right now, we're just opting for keeping a small bucket. That way, there's plenty there for them to drink, but we're prepared to refresh it frequently and often enough that they're not going to run out. But also, it's not going to be 5 gallons of frozen water, in a solid bucket of ice. And basically, right at the moment, this is our solution. We're using like the 2.5 gallon water bucket and putting it under or near the heat lamp source. We have electric run to our chicken buildings, so we're able to use the heat lamps. Heat lamps, I know you either love them or hate them. You can opt for, there's a product that's a heated water base. Heated base. I shouldn't say heated water base, but a heated base to put under your waters, or maybe even a work under a water bucket. We do want to try those, but right at the moment we don't have any, and we haven't used them previously, so I don't have any feedback on them for you. But that would probably be a great thing to use, but you still have to have a way to get electric to your livestock pen or to your chicken building. So if you didn't have electric right at your building, you could always run electric cord, from your home if you had to, if you can source it that way. So at any rate, there's a couple of the leghorns, a third leghorn. The fourth one was over in the other house, and this white one here, not a leghorn. She has a totally different kind of comb. They have a big floppy comb. She has what's called, I think, a pea comb, PEA, and she has actually blue pigmented legs. So she resembles in the body a little bit like an American Breeze, but we don't think that she is. She was bought as an Easter egger, and she actually she was bought as an Americana. I tend to call them Easter eggers, just my own habit. But she lays like a real pale blue egg. It's real pretty. So at any rate, so we do have some eggs, so I'll be gathering them. But hey, y'all, if you're where it's super cold, please stay warm. Please take care of your animals, and just tips on dealing with winter. Like, you can go outside, bundle up as much as you need to. That really makes it more bearable. Wear good footwear that, you have secure footing, so less risk of falling and slipping. Try to keep the areas around your entrances to your home, to your livestock, to your vehicles. Try to keep that free of ice as much as you possibly can reasonably, and keep yourself hydrated and nourished and well rested, because the cold takes a lot out of you. So thanks for supporting our channel. Hey, y'all, watch hours are going up, subscribers are going up, things are looking good. We're going to keep working at it. We appreciate your support. We appreciate playing the videos, letting the videos run from start to finish. Really helps the watch hours. Please like, please subscribe, please comment, please feel free to share, and please include in your feedback questions you have or topics you have. Quite frequently, we can use that as springboard for some content, for some material. So we're going to be all egg production hens until about March We were going to do an early flock of meat birds and start them on January 22nd, but it's too cold. We're not going to attempt it. So thanks, y'all.